We are honoring you to Lieutenant of the entire JBP. You have the right to do anything you want, fire anyone you want, and hire anyone you want. Except for me. Listen, we're on another level now. I want the rest of the cast to do what I'm thinking. Take your legs out more. Shake your thighs a little bit. It's freeing. It's a release. Stop being so serious. It's a podcast. We're not the President of the United States. We're just part of the Joe Budden podcast. Get with it.
What's good, Elevators? It's your boy Elevation here with another episode of the JBP Elevated, where we speak on the Joe Budden podcast and all of his co-hosts on and off the pod. I have to say I'm pleasantly surprised. They caught me off guard. I literally had no clue. I had marked BTS off my playlist. I go on Patreon. I make sure that they didn't have any Patreon episodes or behind the scenes footage, like actual behind the scenes footage, not the BTS that they've been showing. Until yesterday. Ian, shout out to you, because you're clearly winning over the audience of the JBP. And it's inspiring me, because the hate that you received, I would have quit social media. And you're the one that runs the JBP, and everybody knows you run the JBP. But you kept going. You were resilient. You put your head down, and you saw where the finish line was, and you kept going. There was clearly an increase in production value. I laughed like 13 times at Ian alone. It was just Ian that I laughed at yesterday. And I was like, wait. When did I become invested in Ian Schwartzman? And I'm not trying to clown on Ian. It's just we don't even talk about Ian, except when we saw him on BTS. And it seemed like he was trying to force it upon us. It seemed like he was trying to force the Office vibes. It seems like he was trying to force BTS to turn into an actual show. But now that everything's falling in place, it seems like he was a genius. And it sucks because we shouldn't even see Ian in this light. Everyone up there should respect Ian. They shouldn't even talk to Ian the way they do on BTS, because he's the reason that there's money at the JBN. Like, let's just be honest. Shout out to Parks for bringing him in. But we look at Ian like he a peon. And he, like I said, put his head down, kept moving. He found perfect comedic timing with Lamont Hill. Shout out to Lamont Hill, because I've been talking negatively about him a lot and his actions, which the cast has clearly seen because they've changed how they treat him. He had an explosion yesterday because he's trying to keep up a persona, and he doesn't know if he could be his true self on the JBP yet. But anyway, shout out to Mark putting his head down as well. He knows what the long-term goal is at the JBN. I'm going to be here on the main episodes, kick ass. I'm going to go to the Patreon and kick ass. I'm going to go behind the scenes and kick ass. So much so that it's going to turn into a show that revolves around me and the head guy. Now, I put a clip in here of Ian saying Lamont Hill is the lieutenant and whatnot, which is funny, said in jest, clearly a joke. And I'm not saying that he has the power to hire and fire people, but he is letting it be known that, hey, Mark, I appreciate and see everything that you're doing. And because nobody else wanted to interact with me, and I'm the one that feeds everyone, even though I stay behind the scenes, I'm going to do my damnedest to make sure that you are on the next venture. And by next venture, I'm talking about the next re-up. You think Prize Picks is the end-all, be-all, but it's not. Joe got Prize Picks at a time where we didn't think he would be able to receive any type of endorsements or advertising. Imagine what happens when I have 2 successful shows. Because now people, they say it all the time in the comments, I have got a Patreon subscription because of Lamont Hill. And now that he is a feature on his own show on the Patreon, which is exactly what's happening, well, it's a win-win. Yes, of course, you could do whatever you want, Mark. And we gave Flip the same freedom early on, too. And Melissa started talking about it, and they all blew up, and it started going downhill from there. But now you can't say anything to Mark because I'm doing the exact same thing Flip did times 2. Times 2. So, yes, it's a joke. I can't hire and fire you. But notice when Melissa was gone on those Fridays, and then she came back, and Lamont Hill said that joke about, this is why they brought you back, so I could teach you how to pod. What if that really was the case? And Ian is trying to smooth things over by saying it in jest on this behind the scenes or the Ian and Mark show. So when it starts happening, he could just point back to that. Hey, I told y'all. But no, guys, it's been happening prior to that. He's just putting it on wax now for y'all to hear. But Mark knows the interim goal, and they're turning out successful with it because, like I said, I laughed at Ian on his lonesome for 12 times by himself. Let alone how many times I laughed when he was with Mark. That handshake, I'm like, oh, damn, these niggas got it. They got something. They got it. They got it. This is The Office Junior. And that's the comparison that they've been receiving. But now I feel like it's rightfully earned. They deserved it now. Let's hope that they continue to go on the same path. Most of the comments that I saw in this episode were positive comments. This episode was so decent for what I had seen from BTS or the Ian and Mark show that I would advise people to sign up for Patreon to see what this show could turn into. Because I don't want to be seen as the crazy one when I start speaking on the 9-figure deal again, that $100 million, $200 million, $150 million or $150 million contract that I feel that I'm about to sign. I don't want to be called crazy, but this is the second show. It's going to make me go back to my old prediction from a year ago when I said he's going to have 47 shows at the end of this year, this current year. We might get back on track because they found something with this. And like I said initially, shout out to Ian for putting his head down and knowing that there's an end goal and there's going to be a bunch of haters. There's going to be a bunch of people that don't want to see your face. There's going to be a bunch of people to tell you to stop. But you have to keep going because I know I'm funny. And this is not me saying this, but for anyone out there trying to create content, niggas is hating on you. This is me saying this. Fuck them. Fuck them. If you have an end goal, if you know you're going to be consistent, if you know you're putting out quality content, keep going. Because eventually people will do a 180 just like my bitch ass did to Ian. Because I was not paying attention to BTS at all. At all. And I was like, damn. There's like 7 things that I want to clip up from this show to speak to the community about. But anyway, I see a 9-figure deal in them works. I see Ian and Mark being an actual show. I wouldn't be surprised if I saw a Viacom knocking next year, year after next, if they can consistently or continue going down this path that they're currently on. Because Ian and Mark, they got comedic timing that is parallel with comedians and actors. There, I said it. They're on par with comedians and actors. That about a bitch. But Flip, this should have been you, man. This should have been you. Improper Improv was set up for this to happen. And you know the funny part? Because everyone's praising Ian now and what he's doing with Mark, he was trying to do that with you on Improper Improv too. But you wanted creative control. That's another lesson that you need to take from Mark, Flip. He's falling in line. Yeah, he's getting his same jokes off, talking that shit just like you do, except he's not trying to sabotage the JBN. I'm doing everything possible. And the funny part, that's how you started off, Flip. And once you got in Proper Improv 2, you didn't think Joe could pull a Lamont Hill out the hat. You didn't think Joe could pull a Ray Daniels out the hat. And don't even get me started on Ian Dunlap. That's why I'm saying the things I'm saying about Ian Schwartzman. Oh, Ian is boring. Ian, guys, I talk to Ian outside of this shit. He ain't no boring nigga, man. He ain't no boring dude. Ian's only problem is he cares too much what everyone else thinks. Once he gets that shit out, we're gonna be like, damn, when is Ian Dunlap coming back? It's the same thing. And I know I made a video like 4 or 5 months ago saying that there are some things that I couldn't speak on. I still can't speak on them. But I'm bringing Ian Dunlap's name up for a reason. Or Ray Daniels. I'm bringing his name up for a reason. And y'all know how I feel about Mona. If I can get 2 successful shows under my network that I run, niggas is going to be running over here. They're going to be running over here. And then I'm going to be able to start up the network that I wanted to 10, 15 years ago. And it's going to run exactly how I wanted it to, solely because Mark Lamont Hill bought in. Oh, it's a domino effect. And Flip, you would get that $40K a month that you wanted if you bought in, and you still have time to buy in, because it looks like you're maturing. It looks like you're becoming a better podder. So you still got to mix in old elements of Flip with these new elements of Flip, and then buy in with the JBP, because it's clear as day Joe's not going to let you leave, but he's also not stopping you from doing your own shit. So what happens if you buy into the JBP and put more effort into your own content? That's when everything exponentially grows, because we're watching it happen with Mark Lamont Hill right now. I just said 2 weeks ago that the JBP audience isn't going to Mark Lamont Hill's channel, but now I'm looking at his sub count from when I first started, and at least 25,000 people have went over to Mark Lamont Hill's page. So it's give and take, give and take. You give, I give. You take, I take. Mutually beneficial. But I appreciate y'all as always for supporting the page. Like the video if you like the video. Subscribe to the page if you haven't. If you have, you already know how we rocking. You already know what it is. Got a Patreon episode that I need to touch base on, and we got an episode coming out tomorrow, so anticipate more content dropping. Y'all be safe out there. Peace.